What's up, everybody? Crusader here, and today I thought we'd work on a little speed model in honor of the return of Game of Thrones. I thought we might work on a sword, a Valyrian steel sword.
Ah, yes, the mighty sword, the simple sword. Some say the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, I'd like to see you wield that in battle. The difference between normal steel and Valyrian, well, is one simple thing. Hey, you smell something?
Dragon fire is hot enough to melt stone and melt the armor right off the corpse.
So as you can see, really just a subtle difference. Subtle difference.
Go Ned! I choose you! Now Ned, use ice! Oh yeah! It was super effective!
We shall be forging a sword the old-fashioned way. You know, with a computer. Anyways,
Okay, well, apparently you can just melt it down. Okay. So sharp. No hammer work. No nothing. You just pour it into the molds. Yep. Valyrian steel, also known as aluminum. Really, who would have thought? Every Coke can you've ever seen, Dragonfire, each one of them. Maybe. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Starting out, I went to my homeland, Pinterest. And no, it's not just for girls or for recipes. Actually, I like to create quite the database of images. A very simple thing. When I make my fantasy weapons, I'll grab 3 or 4 references I like and kind of Frankenstein them all together and see if I can't get something interesting. Now, the thing I like to stress is we're not going to try to follow this exactly. It's more of just an ideal or a reference. Like you wouldn't, if you were doing art, you wouldn't follow that exactly and trace it. So I set up my image plane, pretty simple. This is what's called box modeling, just basically getting the rough shapes down. Then you go back in, and once you have everything kind of how you like it, you begin to tweak. Alright, so just kind of setting in the points of the blade. I put in the fuller, made sure it didn't go too far down. That's not how swords work, I think. Just extending this a bit, get the tip nice and pointy. Remember, it's the pointy end that kills. Had to learn that the hard way. I tried this little divot. It was kind of on the image for the reference, and I think it looks kind of cool. Extend the flanges a little. We'll come back, maybe do a little bit more there, but for now it looks nice. Alright, go ahead and work on the handle. I'm just going to subdivide, get all my geometry laid out. Now, this little center bit, I think I'm going to go with a classic medieval style. We want to go with this sword as more aristocratic, something a knight or a lord might have, not your average peasant or soldier. Actually, I was thinking Baratheon, as you'll see later in the video, as I try to fumble with what the fuck Baratheon colors are, because the book and the show apparently are quite different. Actually, I am a fairly avid reader, though I've not done A Song of Ice and Fire yet. The Name of the Wind, and right now I've been going through the Stormlight archives. But again, I read when I can, but you know, sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do. It's quite the commitment. Get the pommel nice and worked in. I tried to go with the same as the Midgard, just to try to keep things somewhat familiar. I thought maybe if we're gonna do an aristocratian blade, maybe have the blade itself have a little bit more detail. So I put in these kind of embezzles or divots, and it gives it kind of a flowy, watery cloud look. I'm not super sure what that was, but I like how it came out, and sometimes that's really the best you can do with your art. Just, if you like something, don't question it, just go with that. If I was going for a client, obviously I wouldn't just start throwing in things unless I knew them that well. But if you're working for yourself, feel free to just have fun. Experiment, try new things. If it doesn't work, it's Control Z. It's not gonna hurt you. All you're gonna do is miss out an opportunity. So I made the guard kind of look like ram's horns or stag horns, and the kind of same Valyrian theme. Sizing up a little, and now I'm going to do this kind of overlay that's going to kind of really bring the guard, the handle, and the blade all together. I try to make it concave. Later we're going to go in here and add some nice filigree and embezzlements to try to really make it look adornish in a way that, again, a lord might have. I'm pretty happy with that shape. Maybe size a couple things up, and now let's go head into texturing, my favorite part. This is Substance Painter 2. I'm pretty proficient in it. I've been working with it for a while. Once you bake your textures, you're pretty much ready to go. Right there, I do a little bit of a test render, doing some drag and scale just to see if I like how my UV goes. By the way, if you'd like to see the full UV process, which is not too hard, but some people may be interested in that, leave a comment below and tell me you'd like that in the next video, and I'll see what I can do. Now I'm just getting my steels roughed in. I'm trying to go for a very shiny, though worn look. You want your swords to, look battle-scarred and ready for war. That sort of look. Scratches. The main thing I'm excited about is that Valyrian steel. Now, it's actually Damascus steel. You can look that up. It's kind of a wavy pattern, and it's created by layering steels. A pretty cool process, actually. I really like blacksmithing. Here we go with the Baratheon colors. See, you saw that bright yellow, but I was like, when on earth were there bright yellow in anything Game of Thrones? I mean, they have such a muted blue-gray palette. I mean, maybe it's muted blue-gray, so I guess that's what I went with. Muted blue-gray yellow, also known as Tainted Mustard. That kind of sounds like a punk band. Tainted Mustard. Yeah, sorry. Anyways. Go ahead and get the leather lining, just kind of give the handle a little bit more detail. Now we're going to put in the gold. Again, this little center adornment. I got to make sure that's all nice and shiny. Shiny. My shiny. Also going to do the middle guard here. The center aligner. I'm not sure what this would be called. I'm sure it has a name, though it's more fantasy. These don't actually exist. You just kind of weigh your sword down at that point. I tried a couple options. I was thinking about how to do this, and I think the best thing is I'm going to go out in Photoshop, just take a little screenshot of this, and, well, I'm going to scribble like a 3-year-old just for a little while, just do some finger painting. Now, the key is this has to look terrible. Just make sure it looks like the worst thing you're capable of. Yep. Yeah, that looks... Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, cool. Yeah, oh, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, so... Oh, you were sitting here thinking, like, oh, this looks... Oh, God, is he really? And now it looks mediocre. That's right. And mediocre is really what we aim for here. I'm Captain Mediocrity. It's a small adornment, just kind of an extra detail. I think it looks nice. It's not going to be known from a distance, but it just adds a little bit more flair. Yep. Oh yes, the Valyrian steel. God, look at that pattern. Very wavy, very kind of liquid. The blade almost looks like it's still in the molten process, which I think is just awesome. Do a bit of simple rendering here. Try a couple things, and voila! There we have it. A sword made in the old style, the old computer style. Yeah, well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Had a lot of fun making it. Next week we might do a viewer request. Not sure, gonna see what sort of traction we can gain with this. If you had a good time here and you like what you saw, feel free to comment, subscribe.